she had mentioned, right, last session I could see some happy faces here. I really want to know how many happy faces are here actually. You can raise your hand. Okay, let me tell you something. Back in Chennai, whenever I go take classes, like in those colleges, SRBIT and all, most of the times I used to get the last class. And whenever I entered the class, I could see so many happy faces. I always assumed that these are the happy faces because I am coming into the class. But later I realized it's otherwise, actually, because it's the last session. So now you tell me how many happy faces are here. Oh, still one. Okay. Thanks for being really honest. Okay. Entirely related to every single person, what is happening at our workplace. So when I say that future of workplace, I could rather classify this into two types. One is the future in terms of physical infrastructure, and later could be the future in terms of IT infrastructure. Well, I'm going to concentrate more on the IT infrastructure part here. Right, happening in our personal life. Mobility has been completely revamped by Uber. It's becoming a verb, right? If you want to go somewhere, just look for Uber. Then talking about our restaurant and shopping experience, it has been completely changed by Amazon, Zomato. Our health is consistently monitoring by, like smartwatches. But what is happening at our workplace? What is that one change happened at our workplace? Those days, 20 years ago, it was actually believed that, like 12 Angry Men movie, if people are working in a single room, it is to be believed that the productivity is improved. But the perspective has been completely changed today. Today, people, prefer to have sit in couch and work. Or, they work preferably virtually. So that is how the, improvement at workplace is happening. And tallest tree in the world? Redwood, brilliant. Who Googled it? Oh, he didn't Google, okay. So redwood is actually the tallest tree. Oh, what is the relationship here? Okay, see, talking about this redwood tree, sequoia, it grows up to 400 feet tall. Okay, but when you look at the root of this tree, it goes down up to 6 feet. So for a 400 feet tree, the depth of the root is just 6 feet. But that is not the speciality. The speciality here is the root under the ground grows up to 100 feet. Here is where we need to understand. Collaboration means it has to grow across the team. It is not something what individual alone is impacting. It is about the collaboration means it goes across the team. So if the collaboration is really strong across the team, your organization will also grow the tallest. That is the point that I want to touch here. A unified communication tool, what is happening at my organization? Can anyone think? Like, I don't have a unified communication tool. The results are saying on a daily basis, in a single day, one employee is missing out, wasting, 75 minutes. A single employee is wasting 75 minutes on a typical day. Deploying a unified communication tool, the number of calls they've been receiving has been reduced to 75%. And next is faster response. Yes, which is very important. Like in my previous organization, when I had a challenge, I put a mail and I got a reply after 9 days. Sadly, I lost my access code, so I couldn't work for the next 9 days, but I got my salary. That is good for me as an employee, but none of the employee would like to prefer that way. So faster response is something which is very, very critical in any organization, be it a small or a medium or an enterprise. It's very critical. Unboxing the Unbox with Zoho Cliq. Unified communication tool should address 3 important things. Point number 1, improve business productivity. You can please note it down. Improve business productivity, increased transparency, and improved quality of communication. So whichever unified communication tool that you are actually going to experiment with for your organization, you should concentrate on these 3 things: improve business productivity, increased transparency, and improved quality of communication. Let us understand how we could unbox the Unbox with Zoho Cliq by addressing these 3 challenges that are put by Telo. Going further, as I said earlier, improve business productivity. I would categorize this unified communication channel into 2 types. One is a simple communication, and the second part going to be beyond communication. So when I talk about simple communication, the way we handle, probably that gentleman is using Slack. Okay, he may ask, what is the difference between Slack and Cliq? Sir, the product is very similar, right? The difference, I will say, you can do a broadsheet view here, you can have star messages here, which is not there in Slack. You're like, what I'm going to do with that? Let me put it in a different way. the way we handle messages in this unified communication tool itself will impact in your business productivity. For example, this gentleman, after joining this organization, he is interacting with multiple members simultaneously like this in a broadsheet view. Imagine this way. Everyone, what is the most favorite feature for you in WhatsApp? You can probably say. You're using WhatsApp, right? What is your most favorite feature in WhatsApp? Photos. You click photos with WhatsApp, right? Anyone else? Emojis, very good. But the report says the most favorite feature introduced by WhatsApp is delete for everyone. Yeah, trust me, believe me, delete for everyone. You know why? Because I unfortunately sent a message which is supposed to go to my friends group, but instantaneously, instead of that, it gone to my family group. I don't know how to react, what to react. So I had an option of delete for everyone. So I got saved. Otherwise, everyone knows what would be my condition at home, right? Here, that kind of problem is not there because when you interact with multiple people simultaneously in a broadsheet view, right, you have complete control with whom you are interacting. And talk about a zonal manager who is interacting with multiple managers under him in the year, month end. So he is simultaneously able to chat, and so he is having a control. Then you may ask, humans can still make a mistake. What if I said something wrong here? Don't worry, you have delete for everyone option here as well. Make sure is start categorizing the message. You could see there are 5 different colors of stars. Right. Now the manager is telling that person, his subordinate, that this is a very important thing. So what you better do is you call me tomorrow morning 9 o'clock. Right? So now, he come up with an excuse that, sir, I forgot, I've been doing so much of work, right? I've been how hard I'm working for this organization, I forgot, kindly excuse me this time. But he cannot give such excuses when he uses such a unified communication product, because the moment he gets a message from his manager, he can clearly say whether that message is important or to be followed up, or is it a message from a boss, and so on. And every day, like when he starts his day, he can easily go and see there at the top, there is a star icon, and what are all the important messages for him, what are the messages that he need to follow up, so he can plan his day accordingly. Going further, the manager saying there is a lead, okay, so you definitely need to call the lead at tomorrow morning 10 o'clock and ensure the demo is done and you collect the payment as well, right? So such a very hot prospect, but he cannot give the same excuse that he forgot. So what he's supposed to do here, he can have an in-chat reminder. The moment he receives a message from his boss, he can set a reminder within the same chat, within the same conversation. So it reminds him the next day morning that you need a lead, you have a lead that has to be followed up. So 100% he cannot give an excuse saying, I forgot. So instantly the manager will ask, when I send, why did you set a reminder? Why did you, start that message? So these are the things that are actually available here, which may seem to be very simple, but it's a very powerful product when you see from the perspective of improved business productivity. Now, I'm in a new organization and I have certain issues. So I need to reach out to my support team, like support of Zoho team. So Zoho IT team, I cannot take my laptop and walk all the way from one tower to another tower, which is 500 meters, 1 kilometer. So what is the solution? I can share the screen from the same unified communication channel, Cliq. I can share the screen and he will be able to see my screen and he will see what is the issue and he'll help me rectifying it. This is really good. I know possible. So what is the other way? So I could share my screen instantaneously, I could get my things rectified then and there. So any unified communication channel should also let you to share your screen and discuss what is happening. And there is one more scenario which is actually very useful, as many of you people are listening to these finance bundle and all. Most of the auditing firms, they used to have clients outside their organization. So when these people discuss with those client companies, they always come up with certain queries which these guys cannot answer directly. So what they like to do is they want to discuss with the manager and reply back, right? So which is again a time-consuming process because they have to walk all the way to the manager every single time. So what this unified communication channel is allowing, it lets you to share the screen to the manager and get his response, or you can also share a guest access for the particular conversation. The moment you share the guest access to the particular conversation, your manager could able to see the entire conversation, and simultaneously he will reply to you saying what you have to reply to that particular client. So this makes my work really, really, really simple. When was the last time you had a meeting?
A week ago.
A week ago. Right, let me assume this way, a week ago he discussed something very important about the growth of business. Okay, all must have, like put some ideas around that. By any chance, did you or anyone shared the MOM minutes of meeting?
Not really.
Not really, okay. So this is a challenge that every organization it prevails, okay? And we do sometimes share the minutes of meeting, but what is the typical challenge is, after sharing the minutes of meeting, we again sit after 1 week or 2 weeks and we beat around the bush. Like we discuss about the same issues. This is very common. Like by any chance, how many of you are facing such kind of challenges?
All the time.
All the time, very good, right? So what is the solution for that? So here is where we are using our bots here. So the moment you decide that you want to create a meeting, you can create it. Suppose if you are using any other calendar, not necessarily to be Zoho calendar, you are using Google Calendar, it still syncs with that calendar as well. So the moment you are creating a meeting among a set of people, the bot ultimately creates a group dynamically. So the moment the group is created, the bot notifies every single person about the meeting regularly. They ensure that they are all, like kept on reminding about the meeting. Once the meeting is done, the bot prompts you to share the minutes of meeting in the same channel. It creates a group where all the members are present who attended the meeting, where you will be sharing the minutes of meeting. So now this event is over. So you are traveling back to your home, but you're stuck in this Mumbai traffic, which is very famous, right? So you will be going across all the conversation and you will get to see this particular channel as well, the particular group as well. Then you will see that the MOM has been shared, but there is no update beyond it. So you can immediately post a message saying, hey guys, I've shared an MOM, but I'm not seeing any update. It doesn't make sense sitting tomorrow discussing about the same thing. I need an update from you guys. Here is where the improved quality of communication playing a vital role. About this meeting, you can have it inside the office, and you can also have a virtual meeting. So this is what called as the prime time. That's a feature, one of the key features in Cliq, where you can have a virtual meeting. People can join you from anywhere. This was used by one of the famous retail chain outlets in New Zealand. So they used to, like they are actually widely spread across 22 different places. So how it actually happens, every Saturday, all the 22 store managers used to travel all the way to the head office for just one meeting. But when they started using this unified communication channel, they started, like organizing the meeting virtually. By this, they agreed they reduced their travel costs. Because they are traveling on a weekend for a company purpose, the company has to pay for their travel. Now they agreed, they reduced their travel cost, they nullified the travel cost completely. So that is the impact of any unified communication channel supposed to be. Right. The last part on the communication is, of course, search. This is again a very painful process. Like, for example, I'm using WhatsApp. I know last week I sent one particular photograph, but I don't know to whom I sent. But I want to show that photograph to this gentleman. I'll be like, no, last week I sent, but I don't know, wait, let me search, and we keep on searching. But your search has to be really, really powerful, a global search I would say. What I can do here is, be it name of the person, let's say I'm new to this organization, I want to know which person, I can search it, the name and their organization ID. Or, let me talk about the file. I can type from which date, because I remember it's a last week, to which date. And what is the type of file? It's an image. It will ultimately throw me the images that I had shared with any member in the past 1 week. Now I can easily figure out, like this, I can search any message, any person, any file that I want in this tool, within this tool so easily. And this is how the improved business productivity is again playing a vital role. Beginning, Cliq is not just for communication, it is beyond communication. What I can do, because improved business productivity is not just a way how we handle the messages, it has to be also impact in what other things I could able to do with this Cliq. So Cliq is a beautiful deluge platform. Alright, so when you talk about this, you have powerful features like slash commands, bots, message actions, schedulers. I don't want to confuse you. Let me just put it directly. Cliq can be integrated with any Zoho applications. Not just with Zoho applications. You can also integrate it with other applications. Then this gentleman asked, shall I integrate Cliq with WhatsApp? I said, of course, I would love to. As long as WhatsApp API is willing to push all the conversation that is happening in API, we are ready to accept it and integrate it with it. So we need to be very sure what are the type of applications that I can integrate it with Cliq. So as long as API is there, we can of course integrate it. So this is what I'm trying to say, Cliq can be integrated with any Zoho application as well as non-Zoho applications. You could clearly see, and you could say, what is this YouTube is doing? Yes, this is again a wonderful example. My manager, he saw a video. Okay, it's about how better I can market Cliq. That was the video he saw and he wanted to share it with me, right? And of course, the entire team. So what he did is he simply typed a /YouTube in the same communication channel. He didn't go to YouTube, copy the video link and all. He just simply typed the /YouTube and he started typing the name of the video there itself. So you can share the video from the communication channel by using the / command. So can I create my own / command? Of course you can. So that is the kind of platform Cliq is coming. This is why I'm saying Cliq is beyond communication. You can create your own / commands. The platform will definitely help you to create such / commands as well. Going further, talking about the bots, right? Now this is a very fancy term for everything we call bots, AI. What is that basically? Let me put it in a simple business scenario. The salesperson is there. He's traveling right now. Okay. So the lead is calling and telling, I made the payment. So I need everything to be deployed by today. Yeah, of course we say, right? Every single customer, you must have experienced, right? The moment they make the payment, they expect everything to be done as soon as possible, at the earliest, right? On spur of moment. Now, what am I supposed to do? Because I don't have access to my laptop, I cannot go sit anywhere and change. I cannot travel back all the way to the office to change status. So immediately I call that person and he will be busy. He'll say I will do it after lunch. All these chaotic process. But instantly what he did, instead of that, what he did was he opened the similar, from his mobile itself, he opened that. He called the bot for the CRM which he already integrated. So this bot, what he did, he changed the lead status from the bot itself. By the bot itself, he changed the lead status from prospect to order one. So instantly it reflected in the CRM which they are using, and the person who's supposed to take care of it once the payment is done got notified and the process went smooth. Okay, shall I change only the deal stage? You can actually create a lead also from the mobile phone itself. Like how many people are having salesperson who are on the ground and there are multiple scenarios where we need to create a lead. So he don't have to carry multiple applications. All I'm trying to say is he can carry one single application, say Cliq, with which he can chat with every single person. At the same time, integrated with multiple application, you call the application, it lets you to talk to multiple applications. That is how the powerful this unified communication tool Cliq. I also faced this experience last month. When I was there in UK. I had to pay a lot of things and I was carrying literally 63 bills with me. Imagine carrying these 63 bills and sitting in front of my accounts person and getting all those things reimbursed. It will take one entire day. It's not such easy process. And there are chances that we may miss out certain bills. And when I miss a bill which is like 10 pounds, that's it, I'll get a heart attack because it's not 10 rupees, it's 10 pounds, right? Now what I did instantly, I used the bot which is there in the we integrated with our expense application. So then and there I get the bill, I used to click a picture in the bot, I submit it there itself. So I will be notified then and there whether it is reimbursed or not. To these kind of expense CRM, you can integrate it with multiple applications that you are using in your company, and so you can improve the productivity at your workplace. That is what I'm trying to prove here. Going further, you have many features like schedulers, right? So what is the schedulers and all, right? Now, at a manager level or at executive level, you must be following certain reports on a typical, day-to-day basis. Let's assume this way, these 2 days you are spending at ZohoCliq, right? So you don't have time to open the reports and check. Why don't you think the other way? Like what we do is we follow how many leads are registered for this product, how many people started using it, how many people become the customers, all those things. We follow certain reports. We integrated with that report and we formed a channel like sales and marketing for this particular product. So every day afternoon by 1 o'clock, that will push the status, how many leads are registered in the previous day. The moment I find there is a downfall in the number of registrations, I can simply forward that message from the particular play to the respective person who is actually supposed to be the answerable. I can demand him, I need an answer by end of this day why there is a consistent downfall in the number of registrations. Can we have a better plan on this? So that's how my quality of communication being improved. Here I don't have to, definitely need to open my reports and check. Every day it was actually scheduled. Every day I get such messages and I could see the report then and there and stuff. Leading retail company actually used this unified communication tool and could able to actually manage multiple things. So as I said earlier, it's a 22 chain retail outlet across New Zealand. So one day they came across this challenge. Like they've been, the managers have been traveling everywhere. Two storekeepers actually, they were discussing about the business of the actual company. They say if they had done this, it would have been better. I don't know why these guys are not implementing such a idea. After listening, to this discussion, the manager was stunned and I was like, how did he even get such idea? Why he is not coming forward and sharing it with us? Of course, everyone, like 90% of us, including me, we are an introvert person. Unless or until we get acknowledged, in a public domain, we don't turn out to be an extrovert person. We feel shy. So they decided to come up with the concept of a rise bot. Like rise is another rise idea. So you can actually raise your ideas. So this bot has been built in such a way that it will listen to their ideas, it will summarize it and send it as a mail to the respective team. The moment the team finds this idea to be really interesting, they used to acknowledge their person in a public domain. And from there, the person turned out to be an extrovert person. And the more the extrovert person we have in our organization, the healthier the organization going to be, because they will be open-minded and there is a transparency prevails in the company. Right, because transparency is very important. I don't know, like you all must be knowing. Last week, one of the social giant COO said, I was completely unaware that we hired that PR agency and what that agency have been doing. Of course, this cannot be a statement from a COO who can say that she is completely unaware that what the PR agency have been doing. Correct? That means there is no transparency at the C-level itself. Then how can we expect a transparency at the bottom level of those employees? Then how do people trust such a social platform? How do people trust such organization where there is no transparency that is prevailing within the organization? So transparency is very, very important, and this is what strongly told by Deloitte that any communication tool should impact on increased transparency. The company, okay, you made everything very simple for us. Now all these bots are well, but still I'm finding my employees walking very often from their workplace, because trust me, New Zealanders are more coffee addicts than South Indians typically to be called. So South Indians, Sir knows, I know, we used to have 4 or 5 coffees in a day. Okay, but New Zealanders, trust me, they used to have 14 times, 15 times coffee per day. So they kept on walking to the cafeteria and they sarcastically asked us, do you have any solution for this? Don't say we should avoid coffee. Then we said, okay, we asked one simple question. Is there any POS solution, point of sale solution at your cafeteria? They said yes. Okay, does it have a API? Yes. Then why don't we create a cafe bot? Let the employees order coffee from the place where they are sitting, so it will be reflected in their cafeteria machine, POS machine. The moment they receive the order, the amount will be deducted from the salary and they will receive the coffee at their desk. That means they won't walk till they get. And they were really surprised, and that's how this cafe bot has been built. Like this, why I'm telling this story, because you may have a doubt, like if my business scenario is completely different, can I build a bot for myself? Yes, of course. All I'm trying to say is, you can have like n number of customized bots, n number of customized integrations you can do for your business. This is what Cliq allows you to do. And the last thing is to make it like really interesting for them. This was a challenge in Europe and across like many places. We have the communication tool in place, but my employees are not adapting to it. What is the solution that you are having? At Zoho, as well as other companies, we used to advise like a bot, something like this. What is it? Like for example, today I want to know what is the weather at my place. I don't go to Google and do it. All I do is I just open my chat and I check my weather here itself. I want to reach my home. To check the traffic, I don't open maps. I can, because I have a bot here itself. I integrated it with it, so I can able to see the traffic from here itself. So we made it to be really entertaining. You can create a game bot also here, like a stress buster for your employees. You can create a customized game bot within the platform. So whenever they are stressed, at least to play that game, they come to the tool. Over a period, they stay in the tool itself. So this is the solution all I wanted to propose to you people. So please remember, any unified communication channel should impact in 3 things: improve business productivity, increase transparency, and improve quality of communication. And this is how Cliq is impacting on these 3 things. And you can also share your stories. Probably I would like to see some faces here to share your experience next year, probably at the same place, and like on your usage of any unified communication channel, not especially WhatsApp. All right. Thank you so much for listening all these times. If you have any questions, you can raise. I'm happy to.